You know, it's easy to think of aging as something that just happens to us, right? A process that's totally out of our hands. But what if I told you that wasn't the whole story? What if you could actually take the wheel and shape how you age, starting today? Well, that's what we're going to get into. 5 simple but really powerful habits that can help you live a better and, yeah, a longer life. So let's kick things off with something we all kind of assume. Most of us figure our health down the road is pretty much already written in our DNA. You know, you look at your parents, your grandparents, and you think, well, that's my fate. But is that really how it works?
Not even close. Get this. Research shows that a whopping 80% of how we age has nothing to do with our genes. It's all about our lifestyle and our daily habits. Yeah, you heard that right. That means you, yes you, have an incredible amount of control over your own health. Your choices matter way more than you probably think.
Okay, so how do you tap into that power? Well, here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about how you can age better, just by shifting your mindset. Then we'll dive into how to train your brain and build up your body. And we'll wrap up with the most important part of all, how to take that very first small step.
And that gets us to the heart of it all. You absolutely can age better. This isn't about some miracle cure or complicated secret. It all comes down to the small, deliberate choices you make every single day. It doesn't matter if you're 25 or 75.
This right here, it really sums it up perfectly. Nathan Lebersor, who's an expert at the Mayo Clinic's Center on Aging, puts it this way. Starting these habits early makes a massive difference later on. Think about it. The choices you're making today are like investments, compounding over time to build a healthier you decades from now. So where do we start? With the most powerful piece of equipment you own, your mind. Seriously, training your brain isn't just about feeling happy-go-lucky. It's a critical, fundamental part of your physical health and how long you live.
And this isn't just wishful thinking. We've got the data to back it up. Research from Dr. Sonia Lyubomirsky shows a direct link between being optimistic and living a longer, healthier life. A positive outlook isn't just a personality quirk, it's a legitimate health strategy that can add, on average, 7.5 years to your life. Pretty incredible, right? Okay, so how do you actually do this? How do you train for mental fitness? It's simpler than you think. Here are 2 easy steps. First, try some daily gratitude. Just take a minute to think of or even jot down what you're grateful for. It actually shifts your brain's wiring towards the positive. Second, try one new thing a month. It doesn't have to be some huge undertaking. Just spend 10 minutes learning a skill you've always been curious about, like a few chords on the piano. It keeps your brain on its toes. Now, of course, a healthy mind and a healthy body go hand in hand. So let's switch gears and talk about the physical side of aging well. We're going to focus on 2 big areas: building strength and picking the right fuel for your body. As the years go by, keeping your muscle mass is super important for, well, just about everything, from moving around easily to keeping your metabolism in check. The goal is simple: keep your body strong. And get this, you don't need a fancy gym or a bunch of heavy equipment. Doing some simple resistance training just 3 times a week with your own body weight, some resistance bands, or even light weights is super effective.
And what about diet? The key here is to think small swaps, not a massive overhaul overnight. We know that healthy, plant-forward diets like the Mediterranean diet are amazing for your health, but don't try to change everything at once. That's a recipe for failure. Instead, just swap red meat for fish for 1 meal this week, or decide to cut back on one processed snack you always reach for. Those little changes, they really add up.
And that brings us to our final and honestly probably the most important point. We've talked about mindset, exercise, and food. I know it might sound like a lot to take in, but the goal isn't to become this perfect health guru tomorrow. It's just about taking that first, single, small step forward. Seriously, don't let the idea of a perfect routine stop you from even starting. If 3 workouts a week sounds impossible, just start with 1. If changing your whole diet feels overwhelming, just change 1 meal. The real power is in being consistent with small, doable actions. Always remember this: progress, not perfection. That's what builds change that actually lasts.
So, I want to leave you with this one question. Thinking about everything we just covered, what is the one small thing you can commit to trying? Maybe it's writing down 3 things you're grateful for before you go to sleep tonight. Or maybe it's just swapping a soda for a glass of water tomorrow. Just pick one thing and start there. Because that one little choice, that's your first step toward a better and a longer life.